What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of This Hits Different, hosted by yours truly, Riley Nelson. Welcome back to Season 3, Episode 2. It took me a second to remember what episode we were on, because I have such an overload of content that it's a little overwhelming, I'm not going to lie. And on last episode, I was joking with Emily, being part of ADD is you have so much to do or so much that you want to do that you get so overwhelmed and you don't do it. And I have been struggling with that a little bit. I mean, I obviously am still productive, but it's just stressful. Sorry, guys. But trust me, after today, because I am recording on Sunday, so the day before this comes out, and I have so much content coming out that you guys are not even ready. You're going to be like, oh my God, Riley, stop. So just a heads up, there's a lot coming. So my first video went viral. Actually, you know what? I don't know what number means viral, but on TikTok, my video has close to 3.5 million views, which is honestly insane. So while I have some traction on my account, I am trying to get ahead of it, and I'm trying to push out a ton of content. And I'm really just excited. I'm trying to make the best of this opportunity, because right now my account is being pushed out. People are looking at my account. Thank God I have a lot of podcast content there. So it's just easy for people to go right there, and they know that I host a podcast. So I finally am over 1,000 followers. Thank God. So I can put some links in my bio now, and I believe that I can monetize. We'll see. We're trying to figure it out. We're just live, laugh, loving. But you guys, I have literally been posting on TikTok every single day for almost a year. So I went a whole year of posting every single day. I started in June of 2022. Every single day I posted at least bare minimum one video. Then a few months ago, I did get a little slacking, only because I was so frustrated. But I have posted so much content, and to finally have one video do good and take off, it feels so nice. But of course, the video has nothing to do with the podcast. I'm laying in bed. I fully have my retainer in. But like I said, TikTok likes authenticity, and that was the most, if not too much, of my authentic self. So yeah, that was fun. So what is going on in my life? Okay, so I keep playing this social media back and forth with this guy. I've had a crush on him on and off for a really long time. We always kind of flirt over social media, and I'm waiting for him to slide in. And so here's the tea. He slides in every now and then, and he's kind of flirty, but he doesn't ask me out. And I'm like, what the fuck? But then the past week, him and his best friend are watching my stories at back to back. And I don't know if it's how Instagram stories kind of rank them. So maybe they're actually not watching them back to back, but I think they're watching them pretty close to one another. And so I'm thinking, either they're talking shit, or he's just literally obsessed with me, which is probably not the case. Honestly, that's the dumbest thing I've ever said. They're totally talking shit. But I'm why are him and his best friend watching everything I do back to back? This guy also watches everything. On TikTok, it tells you who watches your videos. He has watched every single one. I don't think he engages with them though. So I guess maybe that's different. He slid up on 2 of my stories, and I'm King, ask me out. But here's the thing, and I feel a lot of women are guilty of this. I think that I might have romanticized him in my head a little bit. And here's why. I don't think I've ever spoken to this man in person. And if I have, it was like maybe once when he was at the same party as me. So it feels kind of dumb because I literally don't know him. So I have created him to be someone in my head. And is he that? I don't know. Probably not. I don't know. I like couldn't tell you what his personality's like. But I'm just so physically attracted to him that I'm like, I don't even care. It's literally whatever. So yeah, that's what's going on in my dating life. If you can see my leg here, I'm literally wearing shorts and I am just wearing a cute top because why would I wear jeans when I'm sitting in my room in a cozy, comfy shirt? Anyways, this episode is a really good one. I'm joined with Hunter Rae. She is a country artist and she is such a joy. She's such a delight. I met her back during CMA and I just loved like chatting with her for a bit. She was just so nice. And then whenever she came over, like I was a little nervous because I'm like, oh, what's this gonna be like? And she just has so much personality. She's so beautiful on the inside and out. And I just enjoyed talking with her so much. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the interview with Hunter Rae. I did a little bit for like a few months, like never really like I don't think she's like really lived anywhere except for our town.
Right.
And same with my dad. And then they met and obviously stayed there and then had me and like everyone we know, like they all went to high school with. Like my friends were their friends from high school. So it was just kind of like
That's what they know.
exactly.
And that's what they teach.
Yes.
So my dad drove the same road for, like over 50 years for his business. My mom was a stay-at-home mom. She raised us, then she worked for him. And so it wasn't like they didn't believe in music. I just don't think that they saw or understood. Do you need me to hold that?
No, we're good.
Are you
keep
okay?
going.
I
was
just
gonna set it down so I could sit crisscross without making a mess.
crisscross applesauce. Yeah, without spilling red wine all over your beautiful new chair. Let's not do that.
Not the TikTok chair.
Not
it
the
was,
TikTok
It was
chair.
pretty cheap. It's okay.
Oh,
I think it's pretty obvious that I'm from Texas. I just realized I'm wearing
she's wearing a
sweatshirt.
Texas sweatshirt,
Hook 'em.
which I love, by the way. I want
Thank
it.
you.
I'm gonna
I
get
got
one.
it from like a thrift shop.
I'm not from Texas, but I'm gonna wear one.
I didn't buy this in Texas, so
Okay. Oh, that's okay. I'm gonna go to a thrift shop and get one.
there you go.
The American really wants to run through my veins.
Yeah. Now your next step is Texas.
Seriously, I know.
You can have a whole country career in Texas.
Yeah.
Like you can like Parker McCollum was like a Texas artist for
I didn't know that I love him.
oh my God. He was like only touring Texas for I mean, so long. I can't even like explain. I feel like he's just now like kind of become mainstream.
He's
sorry.
incredible.
I'm so ADD that I'm just
You're
taking
good.
this conversation everywhere.
I love to chat. She texted me yesterday, I think. She's like, what do you want to talk about? I'm like, literally everything.
Whatever we want to talk about.
Whatever we want to talk about, that's what's going to be what sets you apart. You're not just talking about music.
Exactly.
You're talking about everything with
build
the artists.
rapport, have relationships with my artists.
Have some vino. Yeah, I was just like, my parents supported me. I did vocal lessons for over 10 years. I did like acting and musical theater. I put out like a little EP so I was kind of like the really quiet girl in school. I got bullied a lot.
That's like so surprising because number one, you're so beautiful.
Cute.
That like I picture you being like the homecoming queen.
Oh no.
Really?
Oh no.
And you have so much personality too.
Thanks. Well, I think being isolated and bullied that much, you're kind of like robbed. Great.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
We're doing great.
Thanks. Stream my music. Watch the podcast. Hope y'all are doing great back at home.
But fuck you.
Fuck you.
If you bullied me, fuck you.
Seriously. Maybe I just got robbed.
Look at me now, bitch. Wait, while we're here, can we talk a little bit about the bullying? Or like, is that like,
yes, I would love to.
Can you like talk about it now? Like, we worked through it enough?
We did. The reason I say I would love to talk about it is because I don't think it's even talked about enough. And I couldn't even imagine, like, let alone back then, what it would be like to feel bullied now. Because when I was a kid, God, I'm aging myself. I'm not even
young.
that old.
Yeah, no, you're still pretty young.
But like, we didn't have Instagram. We didn't have TikTok.
Yeah.
We didn't have to like look at certain people and feel that way. It was very, for me, it was very much in the school halls. They were fucking awful. And I mean, anything from getting locked in bathroom stalls, rumors being made up, websites.
Oh, so it does go home with you.
And
What was the website?
Oh, I don't. One girl, she was new to the school and she really wanted to make her mark and like lead the pack. And because people, when you're that young, I think you'll just follow if you're scared.
Yeah.
And so she made a website and she like smashed a bunch of people. But backstory, I went to like a very tiny Catholic school. That's where the bullying started.
Yeah.
And I mean tiny, like there were 30 kids in that graduating class.
That's crazy. There were 650 kids in my graduating class.
That's insane. So I switched schools halfway because I was like, fuck this, get me out of here. I graduated with like 350 at the public school. I went to like a private Catholic
What does
school.
350 mean?
350 people.
Oh, 350. I thought you were saying like a grade or like a GPA or something. I was like,
You're
is
like,
that like a different
a Canadian thing?
God, I'm so fucking stupid. I'm sorry.
No, you're not. Don't talk about my friend that way.
I'm talking about it. Geez, I'm sorry that happened to you. I was bullied, but you know what's crazy? I was never bullied by girls. I was always bullied by guys.
Wait, that's like always backwards.
I know. I've always y'all are really about to like understand and like we're about to like get deep here.
I want to.
Yeah, I've always been bullied by guys, and it wasn't like Riley's a slut. I wish it was. That would have made me a lot cooler in high school. But it was more like, okay, y'all, this is so funny. Now I can laugh about it. But I got labeled as a snitch my freshman year of high school. And in high school, that is the worst thing.
Oh, yeah. No one wants to be your friend.
No one wants to be your friend. Then you don't get invited to the parties. And then they have parties and they don't tell you about them or, you know, all these things. And then what happened was, then it became like, so freshman year of high school, it was like, Riley's a snitch. And then it was like, Riley's so fucking annoying. Riley's the worst, blah, blah, blah. Don't invite her to this. Don't invite her to that. Meanwhile, I was like, sorry, mom, but like, smoking weed and like doing drugs in the back of like 27-year-old men's cars.
No,
like, I was
Riley.
Like, yeah, I was crazy in high school, but it's okay because it's good for the plot and it humbled me. But it's funny because I've only ever been bullied by guys. They literally homecoming and prom, they like traumatized me senior year because they like made a homecoming group chat and a prom group chat. Which this is very American as I'm saying it out loud. But they made group chats for like, okay, this is gonna be our group.
Okay.
They left out they put everyone in it except for I think 3 or 4 of us. Our prom group was 60 people. So like it at that point, like numbers don't matter. Like the way that we did it, it was like all like this big event. But they had like made these groups and they didn't put us in it. And then we were like, we messaged the girls and we were like, hey, we're like really hurt. Us and like me and the 4 other girls that didn't get added. And then they were like, okay, you're right. That's fucked up. So the girls add us into the group chat. The guys kick us out. And it was like public humiliation at that time.
This is such a plot twist. The girls add you in, the guys kick you out. What the fuck?
I know.
When does that happen?
It was crazy. That was like senior year of high school. I just kind of got dropped from everyone. It was fucking horrible. But then you know what I did? I up and I moved to Nashville and now my life is amazing and I'm exactly who I always wanted to be. And I look at my life now and I think about, wow, young Riley would be so proud. And it was good for the plot.
I love that. And see, you heard it here first. If you're unhappy and you're being bullied, just move to Nashville. Everything will be fine.
Just come to Nashville.
That's what we did. You know what I mean? That's what, honestly, though, I mean.
Just up and move.
Up and move. Leave.
Like going to Belmont was like one of the best things I did for myself. Like it's not that I got to like form a new identity or anything, which like obviously I did, but I really just like came into my own. And I don't know. It took me a minute because I was so good. I was like, okay, how do I like not get dropped from my friend group again? Right. And like, I did keep getting dropped from friend groups because I would be who they needed me to be and I would never like fully.
The people pleasing.
I was being such a people pleaser because I just didn't want to be called annoying again and like left out. Right. And so I would be who the group needed me to be. And then I like eventually like, I just wasn't being myself. And then finally one day I started being myself and like, exploring like, okay, this is who I am and like this is what I do, this is what I stand for, blah, blah, blah. And then I met my bestie girls, aka Faith, who I still live with.
Love her.
And love, yes. So it all worked out and it really developed me. But like people don't talk about bullying enough. And like I was more in because I'm 23, so I'm still pretty young.
Yeah.
But I was in a generation where like it was happening on social media too. I remember like guys would take pictures of me in the hall. Like there's so much more, but guys would take pictures of me and be like, "Fuck her," like snitch, like she sucks, like look how ugly she is, like bad. My mom's always like, "You gotta be nicer." I'm like, "Who the fuck cares? These people tormented me in high school. I'm gonna fucking talk about it."
And also, there's such a parallel difference between being nice and being kind. Being nice gets you like fucked over, walked over, and just like you said, if you're people pleasing, you're not even giving anyone the chance to get to know the authentic you until you step in to who you actually are. Nothing that you truly want is ever gonna come your way because you're basically kind of being fake.
I was being fake in college, like at first.
Right.
Just because I didn't know who I was.
Didn't know
I
who
was
you
still
are.
like figuring it all
You're
out.
scared of being hurt again.
Yeah.
You're trying to like blend in and do what everyone like told you should do and be.
Exactly. I still have triggers too. And I've worked through this through therapy. And so now I can like spot. Oh, I love therapy so much. I can spot it now. Like when I can sense that I'm being triggered, I've gotten like really good at being like, okay, let's think logically here, right?
Yeah.
Like this person loves you. They do this and this and this for you. Like just because they didn't text you back this night and like can't hang out doesn't mean that
the world is ending and they hate you and they don't want to be your friend anymore.
Exactly. Yes. Doesn't mean that you're getting dropped.
Yeah.
So
I deal with that too. This past week, things have been triggering me left and right, and it takes a minute. Yeah, I really have to get into things because I feel like the work I've done in therapy, at least, my therapist has taught me that's like my younger self. That's the younger part of me.
Heal the inner child.
You gotta heal the inner child. You really do, because that's what's leading and often like self-sabotaging. It's not adult you. It's not wise you who knows herself. It's like the little one that was bullied and told she wasn't good enough. And like just the different things we pick up to protect ourselves.
Do you ever write any songs about that time?
You know, I have like a couple references to therapy and stuff in my songs, but I haven't written a song about going through all of what I did because I think I tend to shut parts out that hurt so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I feel like, I mean, in my little high school books, I would write like lyrics about it, but I've never like written a song about it now.
Yeah.
I should do that.
I feel like it could be a really good song, and I feel like it could be a song that a lot of people can relate to.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure, honestly, even the bullies, I'm sure, have felt bullied at some point in their life.
That's why they bully.
Exactly. They're hurt people.
Hurt people.
I was just about to say that.
You get it.
So we're going to talk about Be a Cowboy. Tell me a little bit about it. This is your recent release.
Yeah.
When did it come out? Tell me all the things.
It came out, oh my gosh, I'm a terrible artist. It came out a couple months ago. I don't have the exact release date in my mind.
You don't need to know the exact release date.
But it came out a couple months ago recently. It was like a little summer song. And it was one that I wrote. Okay, so I came down here and I work a lot with my bestie, big brother. I call him Father Forrest.
Father Forrest.
He's gonna kick me when he sees that, if he sees that.
I'm gonna tag him. I'm gonna find him on his.
Because every time I call him that, he's like, "Can you not?"
He's like, and maybe don't do it on a podcast.
I know, right? No, I call him Father Forrest. He is a huge reason as to why I'm down here. He's my producer.
Okay, love.
So Forrest Glenn Whitehead. So I work a ton with him, but this was my first write that I had booked, like that I'd done other writes without him, but it's my first one that I cut a song off of.
Oh, nice.
So I wrote it. Forrest wrote on it too because I bring Forrest everything and he always like strengthens and improves it. But I wrote it with one of my dear friends, also Spencer Burns, who's Canadian.
I don't know Spencer.
He's so good. He's also an artist.
Oh.
But just like
Spencer, you want to come on?
Like if you like Morgan Wallen plus like maybe some Zach Bryan vibes plus I don't know. It's like that. It's like if they had a little baby.
I love that.
And he came out and he called himself Spencer.
Spencer.
He's amazing. He's so good. Really killer voice. But he's also a killer songwriter. So we had a session together and I came in with this idea, several ideas, but this is the one that landed. I originally wanted it to be called like I Wish I Was a Cowboy.
Yeah.
And the concept behind that was I wish I could just not care about you anymore and I could just leave like a cowboy does.
Yeah.
But I love you, even though you're shitty to me.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to stay. And as we started writing it, it became more girl anthem. And I was like, no. This is like, I'm a cowboy and I'm leaving because you treat me like shit.
Period.
Yeah. So I came in with the period, drop the mic.
Drop the mic.
Don't drop the wine glass on her floor. So yeah, I came in with the opening line. Every time you promise me a pretty little lie, I swear 10 Tennessee wildflowers die.
I love that. So who's it about? Was this a dating experience or is this just kind of like, I had an idea, I thought it would work, or is this like this happened to me?
Everything I write about in my life has happened to me.
Okay.
Every
Is that
single
everything
thing.
that you release, or is that everything that you write? Because I feel like there's two different
Totally.
sides to this industry, everybody. If you're listening and you don't know this, there's the writing side.
Yes.
And songwriters can literally write about anything ever, always. They're so incredibly talented. And then whenever you're writing for an artist, obviously you want to keep it like brand specific and like
Yes.
have your own experiences.
100%. Everything I've released as an artist has been something I've lived.
Okay. I love that.
Yeah. It's very important to me. I mean, I followed in Taylor Swift's steps. I feel like so many artists do with the autobiographical side of things. But yeah, whatever I'm experiencing, I've just always had to write about. Like I said, when I was younger, I didn't have a bunch of friends to go hang out with.
Yeah.
Locked myself in my room and I wrote songs. That was like how I dealt with it. So that's just naturally that in therapy, God bless, is how I just kind of deal with my feelings. So we'll say that it's all based on real experiences, but from people who aren't worth talking about.
Exactly. I love that, though.
And thank you for the song inspiration.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for the creative outlet.
Exactly.
Thanks for the banger.
Exactly.
We love it.
No. I created the banger. They just you know.
They gave you the fire to write the banger.
Amen.
There you go.
That was a very long time ago. That I pull from experiences that happened very long time ago, but yeah, it's kind of my favorite because I get to turn something that felt shitty into something like a product that feels good.
Yeah.
And that other people want to sing to. One of my best friends, it's her favorite song because she was going through a breakup at the time.
Aww.
And like she said it got her through it. And she sends me videos of her driving down 65 with the windows down and she's blasting it. Like that's my favorite thing ever.
Tell me like some more of the lyrics and what they mean to you. I know you told me like that other one, but is there like something in there that you're like, oh, I did this way because it was so cool? Or like, is there any like fun little like behind the scenes stuff?
I'm trying to think. When Spencer and I were writing it at my place, he would like mumble things and I would be like, is that what you said? And he was like, no. And it ended up falling into the chorus. Like, I thought that he said step out to the back porch. And we were obviously writing from the thematic standpoint of cowboy language and like what that would look like. And I thought he said something about a back porch and he was like, no, but that's cool. And like, so that's how that made it in. Or like, I don't know, some of it. Oh, one cool part that it was kind of Forrest's lead, obviously, since he produced the track, is he really wanted it to sound like a sunset. And I'm like, how do you make something sound like a sunset? That's producer language.
That's like,
I was inspired.
Sound like a sunset.
So if you
I picture a sunset like happy, cheery, orange, like
fading.
Yeah, like
fading out.
I can see that. Yes.
So if you listen to the end of the track, we kind of do an interesting like down chorus. It's not like a traditional end of the song. But if you listen to it very closely, and if you're driving at sunset, it helps. It feels like you're like in a movie.
You had a song and it did pretty good.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Okay, so that one's called Make Her Me, and that is still my dearest song, baby, I've ever put out. I love them all equally, but that one, like they're all my children, so I have to love them
you like
equally.
low-key have a favorite.
I high-key have a favorite.
So Make Her Me, did it get added on playlists? Like, how did it do so good? What was your little flair? What was the tea?
So if we really want to get into the tea, which I think this is kind of what it's about, and there's
already
wine
there. We
flowing
talked
through
about
me.
bullying.
Yeah, seriously, that's the tea. I had actually had someone from a long, long, long time ago who really, really, really hurt me. Treated me like absolute.
Is it dating, friend?
Yeah.
Because friends can be even worse.
Not friend. Friends can be worse.
God. Friend breakups?
I couldn't even say it was dating. I don't know. He was just
Is this a situationship or like I don't even know if it was a situation. Dude, those ones that like you're like, did I make this up in my head? Am I crazy?
I did make it all up. I made it up.
You probably
all
did
the good parts.
I don't. You probably didn't, but
probably not. But he resurfaced and inspired. I was so inspired to write this song. It was originally like She's Not Me, and I brought it into Forrest. We wrote it in about an hour. I cut vocals on it. We went to lunch. The original like mix is called Make Her Me Hunter Rae Lunch Mix.
Lunch mix.
And we went and I had my little Chardonnay and he had his beer and we like talked about everything that was going on behind the song. That's the reason like it's so special to me because it was very serendipitous timing on how I wrote it and how I was feeling. And then it just like took off. So I posted it on TikTok and I remember almost like deleting it because I was really nervous. I was like, oh my God, I have to take this down.
Bet you're so glad you didn't.
I'm so glad I didn't because it's over 500,000 and consistently.
Holy shit.
Not on 1, not on 2, not on 3. Like it just kept going. People just love it. You remember the Pussycat Dolls?
Yeah.
Nicole?
Yeah.
She commented on it.
What'd she say?
She was like, oh my gosh, you're so talented.
And you're like,
I was
queen,
like,
mentor me.
please take me.
When
Sign
I
me.
grow up.
Yeah, seriously. When I grow up, I want to be.
You're like, teach me how to shake my ass for some cold cash.
So she commented, the Country Music Association. What did I just
Association.
do? The CMAs, they commented on it.
Holy shit.
And then it got playlisted. When it was released, it was my first song. I had only released 3 singles.
Wow.
So this was the
This
fourth.
was the first, but you said this was your first song?
No, so I
Okay.
released 3 prior.
Got it.
Because I just moved to Nashville. So just a baby trying to build my catalog and get music out there. So this was my 4th single. And we had like some success with the others, but just nothing like this. And it got picked up by Fresh Finds All Genre. That's crazy because I'm country leaning.
That's huge.
Yeah.
I feel like just in country in general, like trying to get on Fresh Finds is like really fucking hard.
Totally.
Because country for some people is an acquired taste.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
100%. And I've learned through that I actually like, I grew up on traditional country music, but my first concert was Hillary Duff. Like, yeah.
My first concert was Hillary Duff.
Stop it.
I'm not kidding. It was at, this is so country.
Stop.
It was at the Houston Rodeo. My first concert.
Isn't she from Texas?
I think she is.
I think. I was
Houston
a super
or Dallas.
fan.
I don't
Something
know.
like that.
That's crazy. She was my first
She was my first
concert.
concert. I signed my H's in my signature because of how she did it. I like would
That's
practice
cute.
it
Wait, how does she like?
in my room. It's like it's weird. Like it's like a loop and then another loop.
Oh, okay, so I kind of do my
Yeah?
H's. I'm gonna like edit in like the Disney, like you know
Yeah,
how, like
you're watching Disney Channel.
and you're what? Yeah. So I do like a little loop around,
Yes.
and then a loop up,
Yes.
and then down.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
a cutie little H.
We love cutie little H's. You can write my name with a cutie H.
I can write your name with a cutie H.
But yeah, so like that's taught me to like lean into that part of myself more.
Mm-hmm.
But I got picked up by them. Next from Nashville, New Music Friday Country.
Wait,
Also, I didn't know, like no one's representing me. I'm 100,000% independent.
yeah, you got on New Music Friday. How?
I don't know.
Like, wait. That's like every artist's dream, y'all. If you're listening to this, if you don't know anything about music, once again, we're going back to the songwriter thing.
Yes.
Getting like people have entire careers of like trying to get artists onto New Music Friday. Like that is like one of the biggest playlists that you can get onto. That is so badass.
I just didn't even really know what was happening at the time.
Yeah.
And that's, I think like if you're in music or if you're wanting to be in music, it can be such a hush hush thing that you feel like you have to figure out on your own. But like lean into that.
Yeah.
Even if it's not music.
Yeah.
What is
Well, then let's be real.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought it was like a notification to say you're running out of space.
I know, right? That would have been so scary. But we're doing good. We're still going.
We're doing
so.
well. Yeah, just like anything in life, like no one knows what they're doing. And like
I know. And like also like I always, yes, you want to aim high and obviously you want to go get coffee with people who are bigger than you. You want to learn from people like that. Go listen to podcasts with them.
always.
Go listen, there's so many things that you can do. But in my experience, it's so much better like working and collaborating with people who are on your level and like getting to grow together and build up that way.
Truth.
Yes.
It's so important to build your community of people.
Exactly.
Who
And then
believe.
also like like those are your people. They have
Yeah.
this interest, But if you're ever like wanting career advice in any field, I can't recommend podcasts enough. There's a podcast for everything nowadays. So like there's this one guy who like specifically does songwriters and he has like really big songwriters and they tell their stories of what they did and how they got there.
Cool.
Yeah. And then like Listening Room has a podcast too called Behind the Songs. And I'm like, fuck, that's like basically my whole concept. So fuck you, Listening Room. I'm kidding. If you want to collaborate, hit me up. But like, I don't even know where I was going. What was I like? Oh, there's podcasts for everything nowadays.
There
so
are,
like,
yeah.
always look for those resources.
Always.
There. And they're free.
Yeah, I remember before, I don't even know, podcasts probably did exist, but at the time I was back in Vancouver and I would just look up YouTube videos on
That too.
Nashville. And people being like, yeah, you got to move to Nashville. And I was like, okay, I guess that's what I got to do.
Yeah.
And you do.
So when you moved 2 years ago, but what made you decide to take the leap?
I think everyone hits their version of rock bottom multiple times in your life. I don't think it's just one thing.
Oh, yeah.
In one time.
Yeah.
And I had hit mine.
Oh, wow.
I was the unhappiest, most unfulfilled, probably like unhealthiest version of myself. I had started therapy about a year prior, and I really dug into trauma and how it was affecting how I was showing up and how I was just completely like, ignorance is bliss.
Yeah.
I just didn't know.
Yeah.
But
you just like wanted to like push it down, and then it just kept popping up and you're like, what is this? Who is this person?
Right. And I had no explanation for what was going on. I just felt awful. And then I started uncovering it. And it was time to make a choice through healing those parts of myself. It was time to make a choice to finally believe in myself rather than do what everyone else had always expected me to do. I'm very much the person, deep people pleaser, codependent. If you don't know about that, look that up. That's a fun one.
Yeah.
I really want to do what looks good to everyone else because I have a deep need to want people to like feel pleased and happy.
Yeah.
And I think I just did that for so much of my life without some people asking me yes, but some people not even asking me, and me putting that on them and myself. And I just got to a point where I was like, fuck it, I'm leaving.
That's deep.
We had,
and like that's so real.
Yeah. I mean, I left everything. I had the townhouse in suburbia and the life and the friends. And I was like, but it's not me.
Like, I can't do this anymore. I'm going crazy.
It just wasn't me. I was living this life that wasn't mine. I would come home and I would just feel small glimpses of happiness, but also like I just knew that this was always what I wanted.
Yeah.
But I was so busy trying to like fit in the picture of what was given to me. And it's the best decision of my life to leave. I'm very blessed to have the family and the partner and the friends that I do. It's taken a lot of work, but I'm very blessed to have those people.
Good. Well, okay, so you kind of said like partner and stuff. I wanted to ask because obviously you're moving countries.
Yes.
That's a really big move. So you are married.
I am.
And happily married. You said 7 years?
We have been together for a decade. We've been married for 4 years.
Wow. That's
a long time. We met when I was 17
years
old.
You like really know that person. That's crazy.
You know.
I like can't even imagine that. I've been single. I'm 23. I've never had a boyfriend.
Okay.
I've been in a lot of like stages.
Yeah. Situationships.
A lot
like
of situationships. Yeah, like early stages of dating, and then it gets to what are we, and then it's like exactly.
We both just made the same sound at the same time.
So I cannot relate to that whatsoever in the slightest because I've always been so like independent and like I'm gonna do what I want and like kind of like very hard-headed. I'm stubborn. I can admit that about myself. I'm very stubborn. But so
that can be a good thing.
You basically just picked up your life. You moved countries. I'm assuming you probably like had a career change too. I don't know obviously you were songwriting and stuff before, but like I don't know what you were doing in Canada to make money, but like you just came here on a whim and was like, okay, we're just gonna see what happens. How did that work, having to have a partner and somebody else to think about?
Well, we do long distance still.
What?
There's the plot twist. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's hard. It's not rainbows and butterflies.
Okay. Start from the beginning.
So that's the thing is we hit a very hard point in our relationship because of everything I was dealing with, but also because there are things that happen in every relationship that no one sees.
Well, you've been together 10 years.
10 years. I met him when I was a child.
You're still a child. I think at 25 your brain's done developing, so I think you're done developing.
I'm-
But I still got a few more years to go.
I got married when I was your age. Why I got married at that time, I don't regret it at
Yeah.
all. I love him with my whole heart. But I just remember thinking like I thought it would fix me. Not the marriage, but I thought that, you know, if I had the partner, that's what society tells you. You get the partner, you get the house, you get the fancy cars.
That's what they tell women of like,
Women,
oh,
yeah.
once you have the husband, once you have the ring, once you have the partner, then life is perfect. Oh, okay, now you got it. Okay, now the babies. And it's like, God damn,
100%.
you can never
100%.
be enough anymore. Like, it's always what's the next thing.
Yep.
We don't do that to men.
Nope.
Men aren't growing up being like, oh my God, and you're going to be a husband and you're going to provide. And for us, it's you're going to be a wife and you're going to push out babies and you're going to put aside all of your needs for somebody else.
Right.
And so I don't even know where I started with that. Wow, I just went on a full Barbie rant.
No, you're good. She's showing. She's like, I am not getting married and settling down anytime soon.
No.
men.
I would love to. I like want to meet, like, I want to have a life partner.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm so envious of people who have that. Cause like, but like you really like, you get to grow and like change and evolve. And like, obviously there's going to be rough patches. You're developing as a human.
It's the most beautiful, challenging, rewarding relationship of my entire life. Mine with him.
Yeah.
And I'm so blessed in the fact that he never was like, let's get the townhouse, let's settle down. I was.
Yeah.
I
Because
said,
society told you to.
I said, I want the ring. I want the house. I want this. Like, let's do this together.
Were you wanting to pursue music at that time?
I was.
Okay.
But that's where it comes back to the codependent and the people pleasing. I was just I was so scared of going for what I actually wanted because I didn't know how to do it.
It's terrifying to admit that you want to do this.
Yeah, it is because it involves leaving everything you've ever known.
Exactly.
And I don't know, like my parents, they wanted me to they wanted me to be safe. And I think I just absorbed that and it's all my choice, obviously. No one can make you do that. Like it was my choice. But I'm very blessed to have him because when it was time to grow and believe, he was right there. And he always has been the one person who's been right there. Like, yeah, you got to do that.
Yeah, and he's like consistent. He's like, you're rock. Oh, I'm so envious of that.
Seriously.
I want that so bad. Like oh my God, I'm like the biggest hopeless romantic. And I know relationships like society tells you, like it's not gonna complete you. I know all that stuff, but like I just want to share my life with someone.
It's beautiful. It's
is
hard work, but it's like that's the kind of hard work like it's worth doing.
Yeah.
Because you get to share it with them.
So have y'all been doing long distance for 2 years?
Yep.
So tell me a little bit about that.
Sucks. In the beginning, it was exciting
Mm-hmm.
because I got to do what I always had wanted to do, and that's move to Nashville and open up the door to the apartment.
Or was he like,
the man packed the car and drove 7 days with me.
But like, was he like, what about me? Like,
No.
What?
No, because that's not him.
God, I'm glad you married him. I was about to be like, marry him. That's the thing I say to all my friends when their boyfriends do really nice things or really great things. Or they're like, some of my friends' boyfriends are just incredible. And every single time I'm like, marry him.
Yeah.
And you already did that.
I'm blessed that even though I did it young and like it brought hardship into life, because it does, I'm blessed that he's like such a good, solid human because it could have completely gone the other way.
Yeah.
He's the most encouraging person. When I'm calling him on the phone and I'm like, I don't think I can do this anymore, and I'm beat down, he's like, you have to. You can't leave.
Wow.
From the beginning, he has been that person. So it's hard.
Yeah.
But we're the type of people where we just have always, the reason we connected is we both want big things, kind of out of the norm.
Mm-hmm.
And
God, that's so hot. Like,
right?
I need a driven man. I can't have a guy that's like,
No.
yeah, I'm happy working, like, whatever, and like I
9
just
to
want to
5.
like play video games at the end of the I
Fuck
can't.
no. Video games, ick. Absolutely not. You cannot play a video game.
Period.
He doesn't play video games.
That's so hot.
He's got his own business.
Like, he started his own business.
An entrepreneur. He's an entrepreneur. I think that's why it also, like, don't get me wrong, it's hard, but I think that's why it works, is because he's also somewhere pursuing his passion. I think, like, as hard as it is, the reason it works is because he is, like, we just understand each other. He has dreams and goals, and I have dreams and goals, and he's strong enough and healthy enough to know that what I want and having to be in 2 different places doesn't take away
Wow.
from who he is as a person and how much I love him.
Yeah.
And vice versa. I'm not threatened by like what he wants. We're just willing to put in the work, and it's hard. Don't get me wrong. It's not like we're like walking around like this is great all the time. It's hard.
No, long distance is not fun.
It's really difficult, and we're trying to like bridge the gap right now. But
yeah. So what are like the next steps? Is he doing a business that can be done anywhere, or like does he have to stay in Canada? Like, what's next for you guys? I'm like, I'm so in it now.
Someone please tell us what's next. That's the thing too. Is him and I are very much like. We want plans, but we also don't want to like box ourselves in. We're very open to going with the flow and seeing what the universe brings. He could do what he does back in Vancouver here, but it's his baby and it's his company. And he'd have to leave that.
So what are y'all going to do?
I don't know. We'll report back.
Just going to figure it out.
We're going to love each other and support each other and communicate with each other. And just, he's my best friend in the entire world. So.
Wow. Okay.
I also never talk about this stuff. I told her this. I don't. I'm very protective of it.
We have the exclusive.
But you got it. You got it.
Well, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know you have places to be, people to see,
sushi to eat.
Do you have any live shows coming? Any music coming out? Like this is your time to like tell people where to find you and like how to see you live.
No social though yet. What did you say?
We'll get to social media.
We'll get to social media.
Yeah,
okay.
At the end.
Live show information coming.
Follow her on social media and you'll see it firsthand there.
Seriously, I will announce it all there. I love playing live. It's like so fun to connect and sing it to an audience rather than just a microphone or Spotify. So information coming. We have a very exciting project coming out most likely in the new year. Follow me again on the socials and stuff. I can't talk about it quite yet, but I can tell you that it is going to be a very pivotal, exciting moment thus far in my career.
You heard it here first. What is your biggest piece of advice for artists and someone who is new to Nashville?
I would say to any new artist looking to come to Nashville or you've moved to Nashville, it is scary and it's really hard and it's not going to be linear and like that's okay. Those emotions are okay. I think from the outside looking in, all we see are snapshots of these Instagram worthy moments of that person's Grand Ole Opry or all the streams or the playlists. What often you don't see and what I really want to try to include people on in my career, what I do beyond music and what I share in my life is the in-betweens.
Yeah.
And the crying yourself to sleep.
Yeah.
And the wanting to give up and the feeling that no one wants you because you're getting no's when you need to hear a yes. Just know that that's okay and know that it's not just that either because like there's the contrast. There's the really hard things that happen, but there's also the beauty that makes you stay.
Yeah, you get like those like little hits of like good things that happen. And you get that like dopamine hit. And then you're just like chasing it.
You get that purpose.
Instilled. You're like, oh, okay, like I have a little oomph. And then sometimes it'll keep going up. Sometimes it'll plateau. And sometimes it'll just full on crash. And it'll be like, oh my God, my TikTok got 300,000 views. And then the next TikTok you post has 2 views. And then you're immediately humbled.
And you have to keep going. So like just amidst the contrast of the light and the dark, the pain and the joy, you just have to keep going. And you have to believe in it more than anyone else does. I think a lot of us want that team around us, which you need. And it will come, but you have to be it first before it comes. And you have to continue to be it. Because if there's one thing I've learned just in life, it's that you're the only one that's always going to have your back.
I could cry right now. That is so good.
Inspirational.
That was amazing. I'm cutting that for TikTok. What is one thing that you had to learn the hard way?
Don't trust too easily. Keep your naive part of your heart, but also be really smart and diligent about who you give it to because not everyone deserves it and not everyone's going to protect it.
And not everyone has the best intentions.
Exactly. Period.
That was so good.
This is awesome.
Thank you so much, Hunter Rae, for coming on. This is your moment. Plug all your social media, all your things. Go to Plug City. This is your time to shine.
I mean, I feel like it's TikTok. It's at the Hunter Rae. Instagram, the Hunter Rae. RAE is my last name. Instagram, someone took my regular name, so it's 2 E's at the end of Rae, but it's just Hunter Rae on Instagram.
Also, everything will be linked in the show notes below too.
Beautiful.
I will link all your social medias. I'll link your Spotify, all the tea.
Yes.
So if you're like, also if you can't figure out how to spell or like know that there's 2. Yeah,
in the
just in the
links.
link.
Yeah, but it's
below.
Hunter Rae on Spotify, all the places you listen to music. Hunter Rae on Instagram.
Hunter Rae,
Hunter
thank you
Rae,
so
that's
much.
me. Thank you for having me.
Of course, and as always, you know where you can find me at This Hits Different podcast on Instagram and YouTube. You can go on my website, www.thishitsdifferent.com. Tell me who you want to hear from next. Share some funny stories. Leave some hate comments, whatever you want to do. And then you can find my personal accounts across the board now at Hosted by Riley Nelson. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Sweet.
I love it. That was fun.